All right, so if you guys remember, back in January, a 6-year-old kid in Newport News, Virginia, took a gun to school and he shot his first grade teacher. Now his mother has been indicted by a grand jury on one felony count of child endangerment involving a loaded weapon. One thing that I cannot stress enough is when you have young kids in the house, especially starting at the age of 4 and up, you have to keep your firearms locked up. Buy a safe, keep that safe somewhere where that child can't even reach the safe. Make sure they have access to the keys. They don't know the code to the safe. And then when you do lock your gun in the safe, whatever rounds you have in the chamber, pop that round out, take the magazine out, leave your slide stop open. Right? So now your gun is in the safe, it's completely unloaded, and if you're 4, you're 5, you're 6, you're 7, you're 8 year old, do get a hold of your safe, do get a hold of your key, do get into your safe. All right, fine. They get access to your gun, right? You really think that a 4, 5, 6 year old, 7 year old going to take that gun, pop the magazine in there, rack it back, and put a round in there? If you got a safety on there, you know what I mean? Activate the safety on the gun. If you have a trigger lock, put the trigger lock on there as well when you put it in the safe. A lot of your guns, especially like your Glocks, your SIGs, pretty much every handgun, honestly, if they don't come with a trigger lock already, they come with a lock cable that go up through your magazine well, out of your ejector port, and you can lock that. So therefore, you can't even put a magazine in there. You can't rack the slide. You can't do anything with it, right? Why not? You know what I mean? Just take that extra few seconds to do that. Every night when I come home, especially from work, and I have a 7 year old, right? My 7 year old doesn't live with me, but when my 7 year old is with me, I keep my safe under my bed. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? I keep my safe under my bed. Um, I make sure that it's locked, and she can't even play with the combinations enough to get in it. So that part I'm not worried about. I don't even know my combinations sometimes to get in there. But anytime I do put my gun in my safe anyway, I still make sure that I unload it. So I take my magazine out, I pop the round out of the chamber, I keep my slide stop open, and I lock it in that way. And she has no idea how to load a gun, let alone even get into my safe in the first place. But still, the point being, if your kid get a hold of your gun, and your kid takes your gun outside to go show their friends, take it to school to go show their classmates, just them getting access to your gun anyways, and just taking it outside, go across the street to a friend house and say, "Hey, look what I found," or "Look, this is my daddy's gun," or, "Look, this is my mommy's gun." That's an automatic charge for you. It's an automatic charge. Now your kid takes a gun to school or your gun outside and shoots his friend, shoots one of his classmates, shoots the teacher. It's a wrap for you. You definitely getting charged, as we've seen in this case right now in Newport News, Virginia. Now, I'm gonna be real, right? Like I got a 2 year old. She about to be 3. I ain't gonna lie. I do get a little. We get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like you get comfortable with your guns. You be thinking like, my kid can't reach my gun. I'll put my gun up on the mantle. You know what I'm saying? It's in the holster. And my mentality, because I'm a firearms instructor, because I'm a gun enthusiast. I love guns. You know, a kid doesn't have the strength to pull a trigger until at least the age of 4, right? But a lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? But that's still no excuse for me, for example, to leave my gun up on the mantle when now my kid is climbing up on little coffee tables or pushing her little activity table up to the mantle, and she climbing on top of the activity table and then climbing, to grab anything on the mantle. Um, but my negligent mind be thinking like, well, she 2, she 3, whatever. She can't reach this. She's not about to get to it. Even if she did, one, she don't have the strength to pull it out of the holster. You know what I mean? 2, she don't have the strength to pull it. Yeah, my mind thinks like that because of who I am, because of what I do, because of what I know. You know what I mean? But I still be needing to practice those safe habits. You know what I mean? And kudos to my daughter's mother because she does. Dre, dude, you can't leave your gun on the mat. She can reach it now. She can climb up on the table. She can get there now. Like I do have that bad habit. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that I have been working on. I'm getting out of. You know what I mean? Because again, let's be real. Let's be logical. Let's be real. We human, right? It happens. You know what I'm saying? Like you just come in the crib, take your gun off, you get comfortable. You know what I mean? But we got to stop doing that. And like I said, I have a 7-year-old, but my 7-year-old, she knows, right? I am making it a habit to talk to my daughter about guns every time she's around me. She knows I have a gun. She knows what I do for a living. Um, she knows where I carry my gun on me when I'm out. So, if I'm, carrying, well, I ain't gonna tell you where I carry at. I like carrying appendix. I carry appendix sometimes. That's where I like carrying that. It's a lot easier. But either way, my daughter knows, right? So, and I'm a right-handed person. So my daughter, when she can remember, she kind of keep that conscience like, oh, I'm walking on daddy's gun side. So she'll switch and walk around to the opposite side because she know not to walk on my gun side. You know what I mean? I teach her things like that. And she ready. Like, I be teaching my firearm safety classes, and she was staying like right in front of the class with me. Like I use dummy guns, you know what I mean? I use training guns, I use dummy guns or whatever, and she be wanting to hold them, she be wanting to present them as I'm talking about them. She wants to learn. I want her to learn as well, you know what I mean? So unfortunately in New York State, a kid can't touch a gun until the age of 9. Don't take that the wrong way. What I'm saying is legally at the age of 9 in New York State, I can take my kid to a gun range as a responsible gun owner, as a responsible shooter, as a knowledgeable shooter, as a firearms instructor. Even if I wanted her to learn from another firearms instructor, I can take her to a gun range and she can start gun instruction and shooting a gun at the age of 9. All right. So better believe by the time my kid turns 9, she's gonna be a sharpshooter. She's gonna be a sniper. I'm telling you, because she like daddy. She finding her way. But still, my point is keep your guns locked up. You know what I mean? But teach your children. You know what I mean? Your children should know, especially at that age, that there is a gun in the house. All right. People don't want to tell their children, or whatever, for whatever conscious reason. But still, we have to get acclimated more into letting our children know that we have guns in the house. We have to get more conditioned into, as our children are getting older, especially if we are gun owners, teaching our children about guns. You know what I mean? Teaching them about gun safety, even teaching them how to shoot. You know what I mean? Again, 9, 10 years old. Like, I mean, come on. Like, let's see. Like, as black people, that's not our typical nature. You know what I mean? We talk all this shit about, oh, these white kids learning how to shoot early, and that's why they going in here shooting these schools up, and shooting up grocery stores, whatever, because white people putting guns in their kids' hands early. Listen, it's legal. Stop getting mad at white people for taking advantage of the legal system, right? I mean, granted, the system was designed, for them. That's a whole other conversation. You know what I mean? But I mean, we can take advantage of the legalities now, right? So why not take advantage of the legalities and do it ourselves? So instead of complaining about the education that other cultures are giving their children, when we have the opportunity to give our children the same culture, right? So that's why one of the reasons I became a firearms instructor. I mean, one, I was just really good at shooting, and I'm like, I can teach this shit, right? So I'm really good at shooting. I can teach this shit, and I want to teach it to my community. I want to teach it to my people. You know what I mean? I want black people of color to be just as acclimated and familiar and knowledgeable with firearms as you see our other cultures, our white counterparts do it. You know what I mean? It's just Second Amendment right. You got the right to keep and bear arms, and those rights shall not be infringed. Ida B. Wells. Anybody remember that quote she said? I don't remember it. No, but she did expressed that there should be a gun in every black home. A gun should have its place in every black home. I can't remember the quote exactly. I'm gonna get back to y'all on the next video, and I'm gonna give it to you exactly. I should know that, right? But one of her famous quotes though is that a rifle, a gun, a shotgun, whatever, should have its place in every black home. Just make sure that you're being safe about it. Make sure that you're keeping it away from your kids. That's one of the firearm rules. One of the firearm safety rules is make sure that children or other unauthorized people do not have access to your firearms. So, safes. Keep them in a safe. Keep it locked up. You know what I mean? Look. So, if I got a loaded firearm, I'm coming in the house. I just took my gun off. I'm in the house for the night. I want to put this in the safe. Taking my magazine out. Whatever I got in the chamber, popping that out. Okay. Cool. My gun is unloaded. And then it's going into the safe just like this. Again, if you have a trigger lock, put your trigger lock on there. If you have the cable that go up through the magazine well out of your ejector port, lock that up. Your 6-year-old, your 7-year-old, is it gonna, oh look, okay, I got mommy's gun. Oh yeah. I'm ready for it. No, like they're not knowledgeable of that. You know what I mean? Most adults not even knowledgeable of that. You know what I mean? Still, the point is being safe, locking it up, no access to the keys, no access to the code combination, whatever, whatever your safe requires, fingerprint, whatever. Just be safe about it, because again, if your child does anything, if your child takes that gun outside, show their friends, take it to school, you are getting charged. It's on you. All right. Follow me on Facebook, Shooters Ready Training, IG Shooters Ready Training. My YouTube, click on the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, because I'm here and I'm having fun and I got a lot of shit to talk about.